So with the regular show, kind of where are we fitting this in the nutshell of everything with the cartoon, and how's that going in?
So this particular game, obviously the first game in for consoles or handhelds for regular show, basically is the Mordecai and Rigby get sent a package which has a console in it, and they're all about games. So they hook it up and transports them into the game console itself. It was sent by someone to try and get them out of the way. Someone doesn't like Mordecai and Rigby so much.
Them? No way.
They like people generally when they're not causing problems and sending people to the moon, and so here we go. We're in the first area here, and the start of the game starts you out kind of as just a general platformer. So just 2D, run along, and jump on things, everything like that. You can switch between Mordecai and Rigby by pressing the X button at any time. Mordecai is, when he runs, he can actually go on under small ledges, and he has a little bit better speed. Rigby, on the other hand, can double jump, and gives him a lot better maneuverability. Run is Y, move a little bit faster. So the game is designed to be tough because, well, Mordecai and Rigby are gamers and they know what they're doing, so you should too. That's not to say that the earlier levels aren't relatively easy, but there's multiple collectibles that you can find in each of the areas as well that can take a little bit of skill to get to. So you're collecting gold cassette tapes, and you can get a power-up that's a mullet that Mordecai gets the ability to use his Fists of Death or Death Kung Fu, and Rigby gets a laser pen that fires out stuff out of him.
Okay, that's good. So you have checkpoints along the way, I'm assuming, with the flags, and then that looked like a pretty common extra life to get.
There's one or two in every level. Again, the game gets pretty hard pretty quick. And so this, like I said, this is a platformer in Area 1. As you go on in the game, more mechanics are actually created in the game. So in level 2, you'll start to get to areas that are just filled with space. And when you run into it, you can actually turn into a spaceship and fly around. So all of a sudden the game style changes from a platformer to a space shooter, or a shoot 'em up. And then level 3, you start to get to areas that are top-down. So you have completely different gameplay styles as you're moving through the game. And then obviously those start mixing up as you're going too.
Well, it kind of makes sense given the game, or the cartoon. Because, I mean, I don't know what they do over there, but a lot of those cartoons they make are random. Random.
To put it mildly. So, I mean, this has some of that random humor as well. I mean, the characters that you have are, from the show. Destroyer Worlds is one of the bosses in the game, so you'll see the different fan favorite characters in the game as well. So, it's not exactly the most straightforward game all the time. It's like the environments don't always make sense, and like I said, you'll just run through the level, and all of a sudden, right instead of a jump in front of you, there's just the openness of space. So.
I'm kind of liking how it pans a little bit when you do your jumping to make it so his double jump isn't kind of overpowering.
Yep. But you also have to watch out with that, how the camera works, because you can't see what's below necessarily. So.
Right. So sure, it might save you in the long run, but at the same time.
Right.
So when it gets to using both of these guys, how would one actually end up using them efficiently all the time?
So this first level that you're in is pretty much just a straight platformer. I mean, you can use either one and you pretty much get through it. But as the levels go on, you'll start to get passageways and things where you'll be double jumping into the air and then having to switch to Rigby so that you can get into a smaller passage and then move ahead. And there'll be something that you'll have to move too fast so you can get to it.
So it is going to have some twitch reflex to it a little bit.
A bit. I mean, we don't go too heavily into the twitch reflexes, not for the platforming portion of it, but we do some of those kind of challenges. The twitch reflexes is more for the space shooter when you get there. So the money you use at the end of every level on a little mini game that allows you to get more continues and extra lives, which you can also use play coins for as well. So another use for play coins other than just the Mii games.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool that you put that kind of inclusion into it. I mean, just give it a little something different. Yeah, spend more.
Choose another. Go along the path and you get whatever you end up with.
It's kind of a pachinko machine. Oh, of course. Of course. Alright, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, right now only level 1's unlocked, so unfortunately I can't really show you
the other
scene, but you know.
That's cool. I can appreciate that you try to make it as random as the show, basically.
Yep. Well, and we had JG working with us on the games. The script is done by JG and the writers of the show, and showing him builds constantly to make sure that it's keeping up with the link of the show and everything. So, yep, it's pretty random, but it's designed that way.
Good.